Earnings season is back, baby. It is earnings season time, and we need it so bad, guys. We need earnings so bad right now. And I'm going to tell you guys about 3 companies that are reporting tomorrow morning, and they're going to set the whole trend for earnings season, guys. These are really big companies, and literally it's going to set the trend, and we need earnings so bad right now. Well, so much of what's held us back the last few months is, you know, all this little talk, all these little worries. Oh, Trump said this. Everything has been distraction type stuff, I call it. Earnings is what matters. What companies are actually reporting for results? What are those EPS numbers coming in at? What are those revenues numbers coming in at? What are companies actually doing out there? But we've just kind of been this talk, you know, oh my gosh, everybody's got an expert opinion on why the markets can go down and why Trump's going to ruin this and and it's just like, oh my gosh, we need earnings so bad. Factual information. We can look at results of actual companies that actually matter, guys. So I am super excited. We need this in the markets, and I'm going to explain to you guys why these 3 companies are going to kind of set, the whole game up for these earnings seasons. So the first one reporting tomorrow is JP Morgan Chase, which is the biggest bank in the United States as far as market capitalization goes. They're expected to do around $2.29 of EPS. The year ago, they did $1.65. Now, something to remember in all these earnings for all companies coming up here in the U.S. is they've all had their tax rates dropped, in a huge way. So all their earnings are pretty much going to look better, don't matter what. But especially when you talk about, a potential 8% plus revenue climb there, and then on top of that, tax cuts. Every company should be reporting some phenomenal earnings for the remainder of this year. So that's what we're expecting out of JP Morgan. Citigroup, one of the other biggest banks out there, is also reporting numbers tomorrow morning. They're expecting around $1.61 EPS versus $1.35 a year ago. Revenue growth of around 4% there. And then Wells Fargo, another one of the giant banks, is reporting tomorrow. They're expected to do around $1.07 versus versus $1 a year ago. So that's not a very good earnings growth there, but we know Wells Fargo has been going through some issues. They're expected to have revenue go down around 1% there. And so as we see, some of the biggest financial institutions in all the world, and especially in the United States of America, are reporting tomorrow, okay? Wells Fargo, when I look at the banking space, I kind of think of like 3 big banks in America, okay? You got Bank of America, you got Wells Fargo, and you got JP Morgan. JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are both reporting tomorrow morning. And then also you have Citigroup and PNC Bank reporting tomorrow morning. The banks are going to be huge because it's going to come out as far as like what's loaning activity or interest rates, because they're going up a little bit. Is that hurting loaning activity? I can almost tell you it's probably not at all. And so I'm going to guess that these earnings are going to be very, very strong out of the banks, and it's going to set us up in a real good way for this earnings season. It's possible there could be bad earnings. We never know. I highly doubt these banks are going to be reporting bad numbers. I think going into this earnings season, it's one of the earnings seasons that I've been in the market where I've seen, I think expectations are far too low on so many companies. I think expectations are way, way, way too low. And JP Morgan actually came out in a note today and actually said the same thing, that they feel like earnings as a whole going into this earnings season are way too low, guys. Expectations are way too low. I love that. When expectations are too low, that just leaves nothing but upside, guys. When expectations are too high, it's like, my goodness, you need to try to reach for the sky just to beat these numbers. But we're in an opposite situation. So earnings season should be absolutely phenomenal for so many companies out there. And it's all going to get started tomorrow. We're going to see what those numbers are in the morning. And if those numbers are really great, we should have a very, very strong Friday in the market. If they're bad for whatever reason, we're probably going to fall a big deal there. I highly doubt they're going to be bad earnings, though. They should be very, very strong. So let me know, do you guys own any of the big banks? Are you interested in owning any of the big banks? Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Citigroup, any of these guys, do you own any of them? Obviously, the only banking related company I own is Goldman Sachs, the premier investment bank out there, in my opinion. That's the only one I own, and that one will probably move up or down depending on how those bank numbers come out tomorrow, because things kind of move in baskets sometimes and whatnot. But I'm super excited. It's earnings season. Who else is excited? Am I the only one excited about earnings season? Let me know in that comment section if you are excited about earnings season, baby. It is back. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.